So for the second part of our examination, or the practical part of our examination, we are tasked to connect the equipment as shown in figure 1 below. So this is the figure 1, and we are tasked to connect this to the LVSIM application or the lab vault simulation application, wherein this is the workstation. So let's find out first what we need. So we need a power supply, which we can find here or on the 4-quadrant dynamometer or power supply. And we need resistors or resistive loads for 6 resistors right here. So in each resistive load, we only have 3, so we just have to add 2 of these resistive loads to cover the 6 resistors. So we also need the voltmeter right here, and we just have to put a red multimeter and put the function as voltmeter. And now let's proceed to the connections of the wires. So for me to have an easy navigation towards the circuit right here, and for me to reflect it properly in this application, I just have to focus on the terminals. So first, I'm going to focus on R1, R2, and R3, and I can see that R2 and R3 are connected in parallel. So I just have to first connect R2 and R3 in parallel. Also, I can see that R1 is connected to both R2 and R3 in series. So I just have to connect this. Also, upon inspection, I can see that the terminals of these resistors right here is or are connected to the power supply. So I just have to connect this to the power supply, and either of these two to the lower terminal of the power supply. I just have to choose this one. Now for the next part, I will focus on this part right here. And I can see that R5 and R6 is connected in series. So I just have to connect this in series. And upon inspection again, I see that R4 is connected to both R5 and R6 in parallel. So I'll just have to put a parallel connection between these two resistors right here. Okay, this one is not included. Now I can see that the terminals of the R4 is connected to the terminals of these 3 resistors. So I just have to connect this here by having this terminal connected to the terminal of R4, as well as either of these two connected to the terminal of R4, lower terminal as well. So now we're done with this part right here, and the only thing that's left is the voltmeter. And for the voltmeter, we just have to connect the common terminal to the bottom terminal of the R5, R6 series connection, and this to the top terminal. And so this is the connection of this electric circuit right here. Now for the resistors, we just have to focus on, or we just have to refer to the impedance table for the load modules. And we can see that the first resistor is 171, the second 300, and the third one is 200. So 171, we just have to find it right here, and we can just produce a resistance of 171 by turning on the first 3. The second one is 300, and we can just produce that by turning the last one, and 200 by turning on the last 2 ones. So we just have to turn the first 3, then R2 is 300, so just the last one. And for the 200 right here, we just have to turn on the last 2. And this is also applicable to this part, 171, 171, 200. So we just have to turn on first 3, and for the 200, we have to turn on the last 2. And so this summarizes the connection, or this reflects the circuit here in our LV SIM application. This is what it looks like.